we want to grow Ultimate. We've worked with the major federations and the greatest events.
We have our signature style 2-camera setup
with thousands of hours of experience.
And our crew is globally dispersed to facilitate coverage everywhere around the world. We can also scale back our broadcast with just one elevated camera, or scale up with 2 fields, 2 cameras, and 2 commentators on each.
We work with local teams and we all have the same mission, to grow the sport and bring it to new people by providing live coverage and news stories.
Become a member today on our Patreon page.
And fund our work to cover more events in the future and to bring more stories, ideas and live coverage to the eyes of the ultimate world and beyond.
We live in a world where everything can be referenced online. Imagine if the greatest moments in our sport were never filmed. Eurodisc continues to do what it takes to make free-to-watch live streams a reality. Let's leave nothing to the imagination. We'll consume the action live, and we'll support those that help to make it happen. If it wasn't streamed, it didn't happen. Eurodisc.
What a grab! Oh my God! Somehow they do it!
All right.
The sunshine glints off my slow-moving disc. You know how it goes with the sand between our toes. We got none of the pivots, but all of the throws.
All right. A little something special for the WGGGMBUCC. It's a lyrical sculpture in the sand that I carve. This is Flash on the mic, now on the carve. From 40 to 60, we are on the attack. If I can just get some vitamin I from my back. Foot on the line, yeah, I'm ready to go. Or did I just pull a muscle? Hold on for a moment. Play it cool, just act like I'm young. Got flicks on my wrist and lyrics on my tongue. 20 more, 10 more years left to go. Tricks from the past and a buttery flow. A little slow off the start, I like to call my speed brisk. The sunshine glints off my slow-moving disc. You know how it goes with the sand between my toes. I got none of the pivots, but all the throws. Yeah, I got some dodgy knees. Disc in my hand and the sun in the sky. My dad bod goes jiggle and my hugs they fly. The spirits are rising like a disc on the breeze, going miles out of bounds to the Portuguese seas. I played a point, yeah, I need a sub and a good long soak in an XL tub. Don't need to run anymore, I'm one of 14 handlers. Happy Gilmore this disc like we're all Adam Sandlers. I'm slow off the start, I like to call it brisk. The sunshine glints on my slow-moving disc. You know how it goes with the sand between my toes. We got none of the pivots, but all the throws. Alright, let's finish this off. My 6'2" still works in the bar. I can see from miles. Got drinks on my radar. Portimao party is the place we flee for the friends we see in these great memories. Yeah, I feel the spirit as I pull every sinew. Shatter my knees, yet we're gonna continue. Take this hand, better yet carry me from the beach to the bar, better yet to the sea. I'm slow off the start. I like to call my speed brisk. The sunshine glints off my slow-moving disc. You know how it goes with the sand between our toes. We got none of the pivots, but all of the throws.
Welcome back to the Sand in Sardinia 2023 World Great Grandmasters Beach Ultimate Club Championship action for you. And we have Dazzle coming up this morning, their second appearance on our live stream, and they brought the sunshine out. It's dazzling across the sand and the sea in front of us, facing up against the French talent. It's Jets back on for you. Myself, Hannah Pendlebury, with a commentary debut. Grant Cashin from Rundown stepping into the booth to join me as Stefan Rapazzo has gone back to get some tech sorted for us. Grant, how are you feeling this morning?
Well, I'm a little sore, but very excited, and excited to watch some of this game before we have to go warm up for ours coming up.
Absolutely. Well, you've played against one of the opponents on the pitch. How did that game go?
They were very, very good. They gave us a great game. We really had to fight, and they're a lot of fun. My wife Jamie is a former French teacher, so she has a lot of fun playing the Jets as she gets to test out her French with them and communicate with them. That's a lot of fun.
Oh, that's the fantastic thing about playing these international championships. Those who are more than one language speakers can practice and hone their skills. Do you speak any other languages, Grant?
I do not. I do not.
Just English and American.
That's right. And the language of love.
Well, we are readying ourselves for the pool, of course. We are in Sardinia this year, rather than Portimao, which was last year's affair. Jets had a shutout from the top standings both seasons in a row, but that's the pool. Starting on offense, Dazzle. A nice catch off the ground bounce for Downing. Nice movement upfield, but no initiation cuts found underneath.
Forcing flick here on the line.
Yes, indeed, trying to squeeze them to it, but they escape around. A nice lateral swinging all the way across. These two teams in the beer bracket down in the 9 to 16 standings. And that's a big old chuck into the end zone. Lots of pace underneath it, but lots of height from the Jets defender, and he spooks Dima Fakeyev.
That was a beautiful throw, just a little bit out of reach, but really pretty.
Yeah, just about managed to scoop around the really tall frame of Yankoti. A difficult matchup for most on sand, real beachy frame.
Looks like the Jets are running a horizontal.
Nice inside to start us off, connecting with Guillard.
Another big huck.
Oh, that is gorgeous, isn't it, Grant?
Perfect, perfect. That's how you do it, on the beach, sun in the background. Beautiful.
Well, talking about our wind conditions, because they are notable but not damning today. We've got a crosswind near side to far side, slight right to left. I think that kind of impacted both of those throws.
I think you're right. We had forecast early in the week was for a horrible day today. It looked like rain and really heavy winds, but we woke up to just beautiful, beautiful weather. A little windy, but certainly not what they forecasted a couple of days ago.
Well, a beautiful rundown for Jets. It starts this game with a break. They had the wind at their backs, so the advantage there just a little bit. But I think at this stage of playing in Great Grandmasters Division, how's the throwing skills been? Because you've been playing this tournament, Grant.
That's right, yeah. No, it's been just the right amount of wind. You know, it's picked up at times, but nothing out of control. So I think your good throwers are not going to have a problem here.
It certainly has been the inclement weather happening overnight. There's a real cracking lightning storm going on here locally in Sardinia, but it's been a beautiful morning as a result. And that's some nice swinging across the back. Dazzle pretty good at moving the disc laterally, but they are struggling with some of their deeper shots, squeezing those through. Nice lead up line. Bit of a cluster on the near side, so they try and throw to the break, but that will be collected by Baldin.
Yeah, that one got a little away from him. Right idea.
Simon Vogel with the dad backhand, throwing that inside against this feisty breeze. Oh, and that's how you execute the roll curve flick for the goal, going to this right-hand side of the pitch. That one collected well by Jacques Cochet.
There seems to be no fear on looking deep here for either of these teams. 1-1.
But the
I'm sorry, it's 2-0 Jets.
It is indeed. Nice bit of shapely throwing. See on the replay here. I love the dad backhand from Simon Vogel.
Yeah.
I'm normally not a fan of that throw on grass, but on the beach when you've got the windy conditions, it does sort of pay some dividends.
Yes, I agree.
Although you yourself a fan of a rather unique release point. Is that true, Grant?
Yeah, I do tend to shy away from my flick when I can throw a low backhand, which is probably questionable decision sometimes, but I feel like I can get a lot more control with it. So.
Well, those of you who've been watching the rundown games back, you can see where exactly that release point might be.
Yeah, it can get low sometimes.
We'll say that. We'll keep you guessing. You got to watch the footage, and they are worthwhile watching. Are the games in this tournament?
One thing I will say about beach is it's really critical to get your pulls in bounds, and we struggled with that a little bit the last couple of days. The brick is severe, unlike grass. It really feels like you're a third of the way up the field on a brick.
Well, it's an inside flick to start connecting with Fakayev, but a foul call, which will be immediately accepted by Jacques Cochet. Getting a bit too touchy. I think there's a bit more physicality that accidentally creeps in from beach just via the surface. Fakayev looking to put that one through to the front cone. Nice.
Beautiful throw.
And a good reception as well, just making sure with the layout.
Now they're swinging around like you should when you're getting crammed on the sideline.
Frotschel. Sort of a soft hammer fake as Chevalier goes around.
Beautiful high backhand.
Dishing and getting, just about gets that one off the flobble wobble of the release. Oh, and that sails to the back cone. Beautiful score, and the first on the board for Dazzle.
He went every other there on the goal line. He received the pass 3 times in a row. I didn't catch that player.
It looks to be Dima Fakayev, if my memory serves, with that star decal on the hat. But it's been really effective, I think, that though you complimented the high release backhand over the shoulder of the Mark Grant that kind of, you know, swung that one out before the eventual kind of scoring couple of passes. But it's been really effective, I think, the upwind and downwind high release backhands over the shoulders of the Mark, just to hit kind of the break side with lots of yards, because I think a lot of players at this division have been giving a lot of bracket space to try and protect the open side defensively upfield.
Right, yeah, I think that high release backhand is effective, particularly going on the downwind side. That's a gutsy throw to try to throw it upwind.
Well, when you've got the separation.
Yeah, perfect pull in the very back of the end zone.
So Leggett coming out for the first time properly on offense, despite their 2 scores on the board. Both of those are defensive breaks.
Great defense by Dazzle, forcing a swing.
Separation for days upfield. An easy collection, plenty of room, and a secondary option also there. Jean-Yves Goliard with an easy one to Jan Corti.
Yeah, that was really just 3 quick passes all the way up the line on the backhand side. Really looked like they had control, comfortable, good separation. The Jets are tough.
They've had a real up and down performance this tournament. We've seen them on the live stream. Even during a game, they had one where they came out really soft in the first half and left themselves too much of a job to do to bring it back. But when they connect, it is a thing of beauty.
Yeah, they got 9 on us. It was we were nervous. They were played really tough. So you can't count out the Jets, that's for sure.
Of course, they've been at this tournament a good couple of times at this stage.
And have you talked about the origin of Dazzle? I guess you probably mentioned that in the broadcast before.
Well, for those who haven't watched the previous games, please do inform us, Grant. What is the origin of Dazzle?
Well, I was hoping you would tell us, because I thought that they were a pickup team, sort of last-minute addition.
Well, they're clearly named for your teammate.
Well, I think that was a coincidence. But we do have our one of our leaders of our team is Dazzle, and that made it a little confusing when I heard there's actually a team named Dazzle. I was like, uh-oh, did our leader go form another team? But no, this was a is that right? They were a late addition?
I believe so.
Okay.
But we're talking about leaders. That was a lead pass gone astray up the far sideline, trying to connect with Gerard Peters. And another opportunity for Jets to take a break.
Oh, wow.
Wow, indeed. But that's going to be taken away by Dazzle. Dima Fakayev knew exactly where that one was going.
Dazzle has it back.
PKF threatening that big old backhand up the line. Does throw one. It's curving and swerving, but that's a beautifully weighted disc into the front corner.
It looked like the Jets were trying to be a little poachy. The wind is picking up, and sometimes it's effective, but sometimes that can lead to a quick goal, which it did in that case.
Well, they can afford to let Dazzle hold, sitting pretty, 2 breaks of score, and of course started this game on defense. So Jets in the second half will receive again. But it's a smart choice of throw, that backhand roll curve on that side of the pitch as well, because of the direction of the wind, keeps the underside of the disc well sheltered, not going to be pushed too far. Because of course it is still a blustery day here on the sands in Sardinia.
It does feel like the wind has picked up even since we started this game a little bit.
But of course, nothing to put fear in any of these athletes'
well,
minds.
certainly not, certainly not. I heard it's getting up to 24 miles per hour later in the afternoon, and that is something to be a little bit concerned about.
Yeah, we did have some 30-mile-an-hour, well, 30-mile-an-hour winds yesterday.
Oh, did it get up that high?
It did. In the morning, it was really, really nasty conditions, wind-wise. But still, we ended up getting some playable games.
Foul call. No contest. Big huck by the Jets. Hanging. And the rip.
Well,
you know these players. Who was that?
Well, Alexis Boulieu. Alex, with a smiley face, he's putting his survey on his pronunciation guide. So he's a happy chap and happy to distribute that big shot. I think it was Crochet underneath it. He's getting some hand slaps underneath as well.
Yep, that was a pretty grab. He made sure that he was in the right position and got up high. I don't think there was anything Dazzle could have done about that.
Yeah, you got it on our replay. There is a tip of the cap backwards, so a decent go at it from the number 42, Gary Bro. A very French surname. But Jacques Cochet is a favoured target for this Jet side, along Olivier Chardert also collecting all the goals. We don't have full stats keeping for this event from volunteers.
That pull was went out of bounds, came back, almost landed in, but is out the back.
It's a real tease, isn't it?
That is. That's a fine line. Who do we have walking it up here?
It's going to be Eugene Downing. Grant, I think you're being called away.
I think I got to go warm up.
Well, thank you so much.
Okay,
it's
thank
been a
you
pleasure
for having me.
You.
Good luck to everyone. Good luck to you.
Lovely to have Grant Cashin alongside us. First time in the booth. I'm sure he'll watch this one back. Didn't he do well, folks? Didn't he do well? Nice moving through Frotschel. Pops back to Downing. In through. Oh, that's a near miss. But a great effort from Corti. A little bit of zony action coming out of Jets, giving Dazzle something different to look at. But they are holding their form beautifully here. They've been doing plenty of swinging up until this point. And as one co-commentator leaves, another arrives. Folks, Stefan Rapazzo is back on the beach. Grant Cashin literally just had to leave for his warm-up, so the timing of this man is impeccable as always. He just arrives at the perfect moment. Just getting another look at that. So our first look at a Jets zone against Dazzle here. They've been swinging pretty nicely across the way. So it didn't really give them too much trouble. And Frotschel with that high release backhand against the breeze, hitting Downing. Even though Grant said those were a little bit of a risky option, I personally think they've been working out pretty well in these windy conditions. It's been gusting still, so the wind had dropped a little bit. But with just under half an hour remaining, Dazzle are staying in here after conceding those 2 breaks. So it's not as obvious the lead that Jets have. Obviously they're coming out now on offense. And they've not turned over as of yet, have Jets, when they've receiving the disc.
And good morning to all you wonderful people at home. Happy to be joining. How's that bobble? And here come the Jets. Up line there, Chevalier finds the corner and in to Charder. Puts them up 5-3. I see, my eyes are catching me up onto this game right now. 2 breaks to start. Jets looked good at the gates. They've been trading since. And thanks to Hanny for keeping up with all that, even the stat taking while I was away.
Well, I had some help. I had the lovely Grant cash in his commentary debut, and he did very well.
The veteran on the field, first time in the booth, huh?
Oh, I want to get him on play-by-play at some point. His game read as it was happening, he was delivering all of the info.
Exciting stuff.
But nice to get somebody actually playing this division in and amongst our commentary booth. Not often we get to have that at the Great Grandmasters level.
I mean, it hasn't happened until just right now for this whole weekend.
I think, Steph, if any of our Great Grandmaster patrons fancy getting involved in our coverage, because we talk about, you know, if you're interested in getting involved behind a camera, behind the production desk, or here in the commentary booth, reaching out to us and getting involved. If you're at a Great Grandmaster level and maybe, you know, have a free weekend when some of the seniors tournaments are going on, as there's a bit of a collision there, might get a foul call out of that one. Why not reach out to us? Let us know if you are a veteran of this sport or one of the newcomers that have been playing for a couple of years. Then do let us know, because there's no ageism here in our booth.
That's Chevalier in quickly to Cochet without a disc kiss. He's dropped the bisou in exchange for just the drop spike this time. 6-3. And that's another break. Jets on the brink here, looking to break open the win column.
Well, they have had a mixed bag of results here at the World Great Grandmasters Ultimate Championships here on the beach for 2023 in Sardinia. They've had some really close games, but unfortunately have ended up outside of the championship side of the tournament.
They did break into the win column in the last match, rather, with their win over Mountain Beachers. That was the 13-7, and that pushed them into where we see them now. Dazzle, of course, knocking off Pushing Daisy. So both these teams with a win, both gunning for the Ninals. And Jets seem to be on a crash course to get there, unless Dazzle can show us some razzle-dazzle in the coming moments, but that's not going to do it. The step in front D and dumped off to Gouliard. Jeannot shoots for goal and has what he's after there. That is the Machini, Damachini, the goal Machini, who cashes in for a goal. Jets stretch the lead. Another break on a quick conversion of a Dazzle error. Make it 7-3 now, and really stretching it since I've arrived in the chair. I must be the Jets' good luck charm, Hannah.
Well, I'm not so sure about that, Steph. They have had some struggles while you've been in the booth, but Goyard there making short work of it, and some double happiness for Damachini, and that will be half taken in pretty fast fashion. Although I say that, there's just under half of the game expired, because there's been plenty of trades here. Dazzle punching 3 in the scorecard so far.
These clouds coming and going today, Hannah, but when they are going, there is extra sparkle on the Mediterranean Sea today. Right now, they're just covered up, but only a moment ago that sun was in full shine, and the reflection off of the sea is just magical to feast your eyes on.
Well, hailing from Courier Island, of course, that mythical, hallowed nation.
It's just that way. Just to see a little bit, hook a left and then a right and then a couple more lefts or something like that.
Well, the thing is, this is why Dazzle's an appropriate team name, because they're actually, if you can't quite see it from all the dazzle on the sea, but that is exactly where Courier Island is, right there.
Ah, yeah, right.
I've seen it.
There.
Of course, Courier Island, a real fun story we don't have time for, but maybe we'll do a little bit of extra journalistic interviewing, because Courier Island has a really interesting story of how that first came about in terms of being entered into Ultimate Championships of yore.
I want to know more. We'll find out and get it to you. I want to see the first Courier Island passport. Machini, de Machini, with the disc, Bardin. Up line, nice zipper there. That one to René, and in for goal. The goal-scoring Machini is in again, and that makes it 8-3, 5-point buffer. Jets looking to book themselves a ticket into the illustrious Ninals championship game.
Well, it will be a similar story to their finish last season. They did take the 9th spot in the ultimate standings, just behind Beers.
I will say, there's another game going on there, West Coast and Tragic Hips, the battle of the presidential suite. I favor Tragic Hips based on what they've done. They seem a step ahead, but that is going to be a great clash for Ninals if it is indeed Tragic Hips versus Jets. Another great game. And, of course, UltiTV here to cover the Ninals for you. The
Indeed.
Ninals and the Fivals will be coming your way before the Bronzy and the big one.
I love the fact that we get to do the Fivals and the Ninals as well. Sometimes you get the Ninals in there in the standings, but a real generous schedule here. And we're bringing you an extra game slot today. We're having less of a rest in the afternoon.
We demanded it. We said we want to work harder. Rest is for the weak.
Absolutely. We've got to get those reps in before the party this evening.
Give us work, please. Dazzle with the disc in their own end. First swing is good. Fikayev. Next throw gains a couple meters. Begging for the flick. Gets the near Callahan, but not quite in on that line. Tessero. And he spins around looking to see if he can convert, but that one was very much telegraphed before it went up. And the easy, wobbly pop pass goes to Boileau, and that makes it 9-3, a triple up for Jets. Jets, 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 Jets. Of course, the famous NFL New York Jets chant.
Well, it's a second block of the game for Chevalier. No, hold on, what am I on about? César Tessaro. It's because he's got 4 assists on the board. I was getting distracted by the lovely stats line. César Tessaro, the self-employed athlete, currently residing in Paris. But he's a real difference maker for Jets. When he's having a not so great day at the office, things do tend to go a little astray, because he does generate that many turnovers against their opponents.
He's an absolute nugget. It's similar endomorphic form as myself, to be honest. He's a surfer. I can imagine that man just rides longboards or guns. And if he gets on the wave, I would say get out of his way, because there's going to be a heck of a collision if you try and drop in.
Well, he is a multi-sport athlete, surfer, snowboarder, skater, and a canyoning addict.
Love it. Oh, look at that. Vogel steps in the lane with the right hand, smacks away, and quick to Goliard. Goliard right back to Vogel. You hear, is that the 5-minute warning going on?
That's halftime.
Halftime, and Jets give it back. Dazzle pick up and are looking to benefit here. Keenan to DeCruz. Gainer to Keenan. That was a nice shape to that forehand had the defender turned around, but just off target, had to be calibrated a little bit to the left, and that could have worked. Vogel will pick up the disc. See those beautiful scenes in the background, the little rocky islands off the tip of Capo Carbonara. That disc goes up. It's going to go the distance. Will the chase work? No, it will not. Just a bit beyond. Muriel can't get there, and it's going to be back in the hands of Dazzle.
Yeah, a very zesty throw, despite the fact that the wind would have been pushing against it. And Muriel not quite able to connect. And our first multiple turnover point in quite some time, Steph.
There comes Dazzle. Ingersoll gets the next one to stick. That's De Cruz. Upliner goes, well handled by Downing. And Downing whips the other side to Keenan. Only a dump option, which is not taken. And there's now an open shot upline, which is not taken. Keenan resorts to De Cruz on the much tougher look. And then De Cruz's pass gets smacked away by Goliard, and De Machini wants to score another goal. He is off to the races at a scorching pace. Tapped back in with eventuality. Goliard wide open. He wants De Machini. He throws him open. Indeed he does. The goal scoring Machini strikes again. And that makes it 10-pack to 3. Double digits on the board for Jets.
Well, we've got some love in the live chat. Paul Eriksson saying magnifique for Jan Corti, David Toravish for Dima. Of course, not a particularly French name is Dima Fayet. But a big shout out, and we've been asked specifically to give this one. You saw on the pitch there some great work from Keenan, the number 69, Keenan of Dazzle. She wants to give a big shout out to her husband of 26 years, able to celebrate in Italy while he's in the US with their wonderful kids, MJ and Jack. So big love to you folks watching the stream back home. If you're watching live, feel free to get in the live chat. If you're not, get yourself in the comments, folks.
Yeah. One way or the other, press buttons on your keyboard that make words and let us know what you feel with those words. It's a great way to express yourself. Another great way to express yourself, as far as we're concerned, is to like and subscribe. And if you would like to be part of our wonderful community and grow with us, become a patron at patreon.com/UltiTV, or just go to ULTI.TV and follow the prompts there. Here comes Dazzle. That one underneath by Sushko and sent deep. That one hits the hands of Frocci. Beautiful big throw. Opens things up. 10-4 there, good buddy. And the radio wave call is the result of the connected shot from Fakayev.
Yeah, really love rapid offense. Because we've seen some very fast blink and you'll miss it type points out of Jets during the course of this game. And that one just really nice flow, great spacing and solid movement from Bernard Frodschok to get quite so free of the dynamic César Tessero.
And that sun is back out. The sparkle on the sea is extra sparkly.
It's dazzling. It's really dazzling. But at the moment,
this could be Dazzle's moment. The dazzling shine on the Mediterranean is really just unbelievable.
I do favour Jets, though. Their offense hasn't turned over yet a single time. And they haven't really had any moments of kind of, because sometimes it feels like there's been turnovers because there's been maybe some foul calls. It's not been a very physical game, very well spirited. But I have to say, at this stage of the tournament, and it's sad to see it so late on in the championship, Jets seem to have really found some fabulous form.
Boileau to Chevalier. He gets the big gainer. That's Cochet, the disc kisser. Chevalier goes deep. Tessero tries to come back crawling through the sand like a crab there at the end, but can't quite scuttle back.
Well, a bit of commentator's curse there, Steph.
Yeah, how good are they playing, Hanny?
Well,
They
that's
are.
That's one turnover.
I'm just tugging the old leg there. Dazzle looking to play off the energy of the shine on the sea. And high stall count isn't helping, though. Big shot, wobbles, and the wind gets more of that than the finger did. And it gets pushed into the sand. Chevalier gets the under from Cochet. Tessero very high, but well taken by those muscular shoulders of his. And now the muscular shoulders put too much on it. Gets too far in front for Tutel.
Yeah, Christian Tuttle hailing from Lunenburg, so not a true French player. Club's experience with flying salsa, but of course a national championship win with Silver Sisters this year at Nationals. But that was her first representation at the first ever Women's Great Grandmasters Division tournament back in the USA. So a big shout out to her husband Jim and the kids, Sean, Owen, and maybe Ethan's watching.
We've got a timeout on the field. Dazzle gonna have a think about things before getting into the tail end of this one. 10-4 for Jets. We'll take a break and be back with more action soon.
Those who do not know their history can never relive it. The skies, the dives, the sideline smiles. Our past is held in photo albums, drinking stories. The present is a gift. And here at UltiTV, we want to make sure we always appreciate it, capturing the immortal moments of Ultimate from around the world and making sure everyone can enjoy them for free, forever. Because the future belongs to all of us.
We are a group of ultimate players, coaches and video enthusiasts. We've worked with the major federations and the greatest events.
We're on a mission to make Ultimate huge. We want our videos and live streams to be free to watch.
We want to make stories that not only reach you,
but also reach people outside the Ultimate community.
Like and subscribe, UltiTV, the best in the world.
Become a member
and
fund
our
our
work to cover more events in the future and to bring more stories and live coverage to the eyes of the Ultimate world and beyond.
The World Beach Ultimate Club Championships 2024. Whether on the sands or watching the action from your screen, WGGMBUCC 2024 is a tournament not to be missed.
And play ready to resume after the timeout. Dazzle put themselves into an unorthodox diagonal stack. Stackagonal.
You and your Wujan, Steph Rapazzo. We love it.
Yeah, I love it. I hope the rest do too. And all that thinking on the timeout for that, no, the foul caused it, not the strategic talk they had in the huddle there.
I was going to say, that kind of dribbled out of the hand, didn't it?
Yeah. Fortschel. No, not during the game anyhow. Probably a great show of skill otherwise. Ingersoll bid, what a play! Right in front, and then sends it, he's feeling it, doing the bull dance. But that one gets beyond conservation of greatness. A phenomenal grab, and the throw just a bit too much on it. There it is again. Look at that man. How old is he? 18? Must be cheating to get in here. Somebody gave him a fake ID.
It's the power move no one's expecting, Steph.
The backwards fake ID. Still working hard, our Dazzle. Markovic throws that one, and it gets away looking for the end zone.
Well, a little bit of a secret inside track on how Ingersoll is so youthful in terms of his movement. He is still working hard. He's a personal trainer.
Ah, that'll do it.
Although he does say, even though he's got amazing fitness and finesse throws, his defense is only adequate.
I wonder if he still is sore after games as a personal trainer.
On beach, probably not.
Chevalier, Tessero, and back to Chevalier. Boileau. Boileau goes deep. Tessero underneath. That looks like it looked good, but still just a bit too much. Sails over the left shoulder of Tessero as he gives a little pirouette, trying to spin around for the right angle, but it wasn't there.
Yeah, this is turning into a long and drawn-out point. That's 7 turnovers total, our highest tally so far in this game. But also a little bit more about this deep dive we're going on to in Jonathan Ingersoll. He got into the sport back in high school, as that one gets brought back in. In his senior year, a friend had come back from a summer spending time in Norway, where he went to the World Games, got a bit hooked on Ultimate, and got the rest of his team into it. Also has played in his time for teams such as Hot Valley of Love from 99 to 2000, Swizzle, Bender. That's what she said.
That's what she said. Great stats there. 32 years in the business, that being the playing Ultimate business. Johnny Ingersoll, legendary status for that alone, beyond the fact that he's still creating highlights. Ingersoll with the disc. Will he capitalize here? Red zone goes inside. Peters. Peters looks to go back to Bartlett, and the throw does not connect. And Cochet is off and running the other way.
Maybe 2 timeouts and a single point. Yep. Everyone looking a little bit tired. And to be fair, we do have to finish off Ingersoll's Frisbee CV with, of course, Shadows, the Great Masters Open side. Got second at Nationals back in the States in 2014. And, of course, that 4th place finish at the World Grandmasters Ultimate Club Championships in 2018.
Well, with that, we'll take a short break again and be back after these messages. My mom and I made a cookbook, traditional recipes passed down through the generations.
They cater very well to modern kitchens.
Our recipes come from all over Italy, primarily from Le Marche in Sicily, where my parents come from. 2 of the best culinary regions.
All the regions of Italy have their own signature food.
Buying this book will make you smarter and better looking.
Mannaggia Stefano, just promote the book.
Just search Mama's Italian Classics anywhere you can buy books online and get your hands on a copy.
Always on the move? You can keep up to date with UltiTV on all of our social media channels. Like, follow, subscribe, share us with a friend, or send us a message just to say hey. Thank you for supporting us in our mission to grow Ultimate everywhere.
(10-4) the scoreline. Long point here, Hannah. 7 turnovers, is that what you said?
We're up to 8 now, and 2 timeouts, 1 from each team. You get 1 per team per half.
It's like a game within a game.
We've also had
point.
the 5-minute remaining warning. So we're getting close to the end, so they'll be able to take a rest soon, and a 6-point lead for Jets. So some bracketing upfield as Dazzle reconfigure themselves under the wise guidance of Bernard Frutschel.
Good guidance, but Cochet super open deep, but he just ran towards the other defender and helped the bracket work. There comes the next under. Tuttle. Drops back, Chevalier. He calls his cut in. Tuttle and Tessero cross their cuts, but Cochet takes a nice one high. Centered Tessero. Leading throw, and there's the disc kiss from Cochet. We missed it last time. It's back. That should be good news for the French.
I think if you finish off that long drawn-out point with 8 turnovers, that's going to deserve a little bisou at the end for the disc of welcome back, little buddy. It's nice to have you here with us in our scoring end zone. That was a long drawn-out point, but some real moments where Dazzle threatened that, well, what was an upwind point. This is a very strange series of events today. So we've had some changeable wind conditions during the course of the previous days, and certainly each day it's chosen a different direction. But today the wind is going all directions. It's now back on a true crosswind, but during that point it was an upwind downwind from left to right, so flip reversing the advantage to whichever team is starting at that particular end. It's a real bizarre one, because normally you don't get that in the middle of a game.
And that pole sails out of bounds, will be brought to the brick mark by the Dazzlers.
But yeah, on finals day to have a changing wind keeps things interesting.
Certainly does. That's the 6th and 7th defender. There comes the under. Dazzle gets the first to stick. Downing trying to get loose, and he does. Now the deep shot looks too far for Bro, and it is. That shot, Damio, sorry, otherwise known as, had no chance to run down. Downing left it out a bit too far. Not enough curve on that.
Yep, huge. Eugene Downing. Not the hugest man in the world, 5'9". Originally a New York City chap, but residing down in Austin, Texas. He started because of a new club team down in Portland in Maine. Needed new players. Represented for Red Tide back in the day and Blowhard. More recently, Sick Hammers.
They better go to the doctor if they're sick. Chardin with the disc. Goes to Goliard, and it's too far. And Dazzle back the other way. Fakiev. Far sideline, Cook. Downing to Fakiev. Backhand break, and finds the right option this time. That is Bro, and he's showing it off. And Damio with the goal. 11-5. There are still chances for Slurpees.
Yeah, Pro with his Spanish nickname. It means scaffold. Picked it up while he was playing down in Mexico. Currently hailing from Salamanca in Spain. Of course, Spanish Ultimate known for their representations on beach, although they've had some campaigns on grass to show us that they can be a multi-surface set of athletes. But a youngster pro for this division, only 58 years old.
That's not quite a youngster.
It's a solid 10 years of deep into eligibility. He's nearly at the Legends level if he played in the USA. Of course, World Federation rules are 65 and over for the Legends. But he is a legend and a unstoppable ultimate organizer back in the day. Says big shout out to Tank and Kara, the power couple from Austin, that are his sporting heroes. Great players and mighty fine folks.
Muriel spins around and gets that one to Courty. Courty widens it up, and that's going to work. No stopping Jean-Yves Gouliard. He goes deep, and Jeannot collects another goal. Make it 12-5. Slurpees are a bust.
Well, that will give us our first match point opportunity for Jets. Really beautiful work. Just smooth, flowing offense. Muriel there with the hockey assist. Distributing to Courty. Big frame. Which can do damage both ways. And that little pop at the end for Gouliard. So Jets looking to finish us off here on defense. It's going to be Boulio with the pull.
Take this drone down to look at the scoreboard.
It does look potentially very good in terms of Jets finding their form ahead of Ninals, trying to equal their performance from Portimao last season.
And it will be brought into the brick mark slowly and surely. First throw goes, and the continuation to Fakayev. Back now to Downing, and just fit into the hands of Frutschel.
That's a lovely curving flick, really exploiting the poach off from Boulio.
Fakayev goes again, now Cook. Cook finds a sideline, glasses lost by Frutschel, and great spirit by Tessero. Frutschel was trying to hurry up and just play with glasses in hand, and Tessero says, no, no, no. Get your specs on. Now the throw, and it counts in for a goal there. Dazzle getting it done. That looks like Christopher Cook cashing in the goal for Dazzle, making it 12-5, and Jets will have to do it on a hold rather than that break opportunity they just had. They will have a fair few hold opportunities.
Well, Bernard Frutschel able to put on his glasses, and he knew exactly where he wanted to put that disc, and delivers into Christopher Cook very nicely indeed. The score for the now Washington-based player, hailing from Seattle, originally though an Arlington man. Says he started playing back in 1984 with the likes of Throwback, Kakala and Kingdom, great grandmasters level. Coaches middle school and middle school, not high school kids. So shout out to anyone who knows Coach Cook. Been playing for 40 years, since he was 13 years old.
That's a lot of years.
It is a lot of years. It's almost as many as you've been alive, Steph.
Almost. It's
Yeah,
almost
youngster.
like 2 Lucias.
Well, we do have some people who've probably been playing for 2 Lucias worth of ultimate career.
Bardin goes up line, has the next to René. And Jets keen to get it done here, but that one slips out of the hands of the bidding Vogel.
Yeah, a little bit too much overconfidence from Le Vochelec.
Ingersoll. Now they bomb it deep. That's hanging. It's hanging, but has it gone too far? No, it hasn't. Stays in bounds, just out of the goal. Fakayev has an open dump, does take it with eventuality. Bro centers to Peters.
And another wide open dump.
Yeah, the dump's not being looked at. Bro was wide open for about 4 or 5 stall counts there.
A bit of desperation in the mind, maybe. Got to keep this game going.
Now nothing to throw to. She's going to have to force it. She does to Fakiev, and the stall count called. And that did seem like it was just about 10 seconds to me.
Yeah, it stayed in her hand for quite some time. As we say, she had about at least 4 beats of the stall count where there was that easy reset. If only she'd seen it to Gary Bro. The wind is going in the direction where even if Bro was yelling, if Andiamo was trying to get her to know what was going on, the wind would be carrying that vocality away. And a little bit of sideline love between the Dazzle athletes. The North Americans giving each other a little bit of trash talk.
Contested stall count back to Peters. She's still going to have to get rid of it quick. She just gives Jets more meters now. Off and running. Vogel picks up for the win, but the blind head D, back of the head, Falcon breaks up the play.
This game is giving us a little bit of everything.
Dazzle, Ingersoll. And blasted away now, a very short field. Bardem will pick up. Flank space is Le Rolec, but doesn't need it. Goes to Vogel, and that is a match. Jets move on to the finals. Their likely opponent to be Tragic Hip. That much to be confirmed, but here Dazzle unable to turn the tides. Early breaks at the start of the game, breaks before the half, and breaks to come out of the half, and that was all there was to it.
Well, I think Jets might have left it a little bit late to put it all together, but they've got every piece connected pretty well. A couple of turnover heavy points towards the latter stages, especially that one that eventually went in favour of Jets to take us to 11-4. They've got some polishing work to do before this afternoon's matchup for Niners here in the 9-16 bracket. Can they hold seed? Well, we'll have to find out against, as indeed we expect to be, Tragic Hips. That Canadian sides will get our boombox going with more Tragic Hip tunes.
You don't have to twist my arm for that. Twist my arm, that's a hip song. We will be back with all the action. We're ready for the next one. A big semifinal, an all-America battle here. Cue the Born in the USA by Bruce Springsteen. That's coming up next before this one. But Spangled, the champs, to take on Rundown, who are looking anything but after their big win against Hurt yesterday. Big match coming up. Make sure you're locked in. 7 minutes away. Hannah, you excited for this one?
Oh, I am stoked. That is going to be a stormer of a battle. Which North American powerhouse is going to get through to the final? I can't wait to find out.
Well, we better get out so we can get back in. Thanks for joining us. For Hannah Pendlebury, the crew here at UltiTV, I'm Stefan Rapazzo, and we'll catch you soon.
Thanks. Yeah, Ultimate.
ULTI.TV.